Good evening, everyone. How are we doing? We excited? It is 6:30 sharp, and I'm excited because, well, for a lot of reasons, as most of you know, this is a long time coming, and we can't wait for tonight. Tonight we have my favorite elected official in the family, which is my dad, Larry Smith. He serves on the San Gornio Water Agency, and he's going to lead us in prayer tonight. So please welcome him up front and stand as we start this meeting off with prayer.
Mr. Mayor, you do.
One job, Aaron.
Mr. Mayor, yeah, one job. Mr. Mayor, you do know how to pack them in, but this is a glorious day, and very proud of this moment for Canyon Lake, for yourself, for your council, friends, and people I admire. So let's bring the Lord into this thing, and He can honor. Lord, what a momentous day for the city of Canyon Lake, that we can be here and recognize the fact that this community has embraced their law enforcement. In fact, they're going to have their personal law enforcement that they can nurture and cultivate and be just a part of the community. My prayer is this evening that as the new chief is sworn in, his recruiting goes with your divine hand over it, and the best officers in Riverside County want to come to Canyon Lake and serve these people. What a great evening, Lord. We look forward to your blessings over this community and over the mayor and his council. And my prayer is in the name of the Lord Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Well done. With that, we're going to start off, or now we're going to have the flag salute. And Kennedy and Reagan, will you please come up here and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Come over here. Do you guys know how you get to go? Mm-hmm. There's the flag. All right, you guys lead us in the pledge, okay?
Please put your hand right. Please put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job, girls. Well done. And tonight, Kennedy, we get to pull your tooth, so that is happening. So my kids were super excited about being able to do this, and we had to rehearse, because when you're in grade school, you start off by saying, please stand, right? Well, everyone's going to be standing, so they're a little nervous in there. So good job, girls. Way to go. Madam Clerk, can we please call this meeting to order and do a roll call.
Mayor Pro Tem Castillo. Here.
Thank you.
Councilmember Stieber.
Here.
Councilmember Terry.
Here.
Councilmember Welty.
Here.
Mayor Smith.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Closed session report. You got anything for us, Mr. City Attorney?
No reportable action.
All right. We're going to go right into ceremonial matters. This is an exciting night. Before we kick off, though, we have the opportunity by our Mayor Pro Tem and Councilmember Stieber to introduce the Essay Scholarship winner, which we're excited to present. So take it away.
Good morning, Canyon. Good morning. Good evening, Canyon Lake. I'm so excited, I don't even know. I would like to call up Carissa Ronchetti. Hi. So Carissa is our City Essay Scholarship Program winner for 2026. You are a class of 2026 senior at Temescal Canyon. And what we have every year is an essay that highlights how special Canyon Lake is and how it impacts the individual senior. In her essay, Carissa reflected on how the Canyon Lake community has shaped her future through compassion, volunteerism, leadership, and strong sense of connection that makes our city so unique. She wrote about the importance of giving back, helping others, and the lasting impact that community support can have on a person's life. Carissa is an outstanding student with a 4.3 GPA, a member of the Engineering Academy and National Honor Society, and a dedicated varsity athlete and volunteer. Her teachers describe her as resilient, hardworking, and someone who leads both by example inside and outside the classroom. So on behalf of the entire City Council and the community and all of these attendees, we want to congratulate you and wish you the very best in the future. Do you mind telling everyone what your plans are?
So my plans are to attend Cal Poly Pomona and study manufacturing engineering. I will be cheering there, and in the future, I hope to become a mechanical engineer or work for like a crime analysis type job. So that are my plans. I hope that they reflect on the community.
It's amazing. And when you want to come back and be a crime analyst, you can come back to Canyon Lake PD, right? We have a gift for you. We have a check for you, and we're so very proud of you.
Congratulations.
Do you want just, are your parents here? Do they want to come up and get a picture?
Yeah.
And I'd love to make one comment too. After reviewing all the essays, it was actually really incredible, all the support letters that we did see from your teachers. So it's the most I've seen. I've done this now 2 years, and just seeing even the teachers get involved and provide letters on your behalf, that was awesome. So congratulations and good luck.
You guys want to come up and get a picture? Yeah, mom's the important one. All right, we'll take a few. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Congratulations. All right.
All right, now we get to do the student of the year. Is Linda here? Did she make it? Not yet. You want to hold off?
Let's wait for a little bit.
If I see her, I'll let you go.
Let's do that then. Okay, we'll do that. All right, now we get to go into the presentation and the swearing in of Jim Rails. We can give a round of applause for sure. Tonight's a big night for Canyon Lake. This is the portion where we all get to say nice things about Jim and what he's doing. And wow, our uniform's looking phenomenal. That's the first time we've seen him. So, Jim, you gotta sit tight for a minute because we have things we want to say about you. All right. I got this 18-page bio I have to read real quick, and everyone up here wants to say things about you. So please bear with us. Tonight, I would like to take a moment to recognize and introduce, of course, our Chief Police, Jim Rails. Chief Rails brings nearly 3 decades of law enforcement experience to the city of Canyon Lake, 29 and a half years of dedication service to the Riverside County Sheriff's Office. He began his career back in 1996, which is crazy because you're only 40 years old, and rose through the ranks serving as a corrections deputy, deputy sheriff, investigator, sergeant, lieutenant, and ultimately captain, aka our chief of police for here in Canyon Lake. He retired in September in 2025, and within 1 day you came to work for the city of Canyon Lake. Beyond his professional accomplishment, Chief Rails is a devoted family man. He and his wife, Christy, will celebrate 35 years of marriage this June. Wow. Wow. Together, they have raised 3 daughters and are proud grandparents to 3 grandchildren as well. Most importantly for our community, Chief Rails has been serving the citizens of Canyon Lake since 2020. During the time, he developed a strong understanding of our community and residents and the priorities of this city. He has played a critical role in helping establish Canyon Lake's Municipal Police Department and in shaping its professionalism, full-service law enforcement agency designed specifically to meet the needs of this community. It's absolutely incredible what we have here because Chief Rails, as most of you know as residents, he's one of the guys that constantly had to deal with issues in Lake Elsinore, in Paris. He even worked in Moreno Valley and other areas. And when he heard about our crime, it was a different type of crime. I think most of us here in the community can relate. It's golf cart. It's different stuff, right? And when we came to him with issues and complaints, he treated it just as serious as dealing with a stabbing in the city of Lake Elsinore or Paris. And then I think that's what's really separates you from others is that there was a lot of rumors going on outside of this community that Canyon Lake is a prima donna community, that, you know, we don't have real crime, that we don't have real issues. But your leadership, Rails, has always been top notch, number one, treat every incident just as it's as big of a deal as anywhere else. And I know for me, that was eye-opening on what you did. But I know the city manager has some stories and he wants to be able to reflect a little bit before we do the swearing in. Like I said, you got to sit tight. This is all about this man, so.
Thank you very much, Mayor. This is a big deal for everyone. I said this before when we announced who the police chief was going to be. For me, it's the biggest thing I've done in my career, and it probably will be the biggest thing I get to do. And the fact that I get to do that in partnership with Jim Rails is such a pleasure. I've said this many times. He was the chief long before he was the chief. I spun my little web as I enticed him into this, and we're so lucky, not only because Jim is who he is, but because of the background, the relationship he has with our amazing Riverside Sheriff Department. We're so fortunate to have somebody that is going to take that baton and take it from his own brothers and sisters that he spent nearly 30 years with. It's so amazing that it all worked out the way it did, and it's so Canyon Lake. It's so amazing that it worked out this way, but it kind of is what you expect here. And we're very, very fortunate that this is the caliber of individual that we got. I heard from so many individuals and the social media warriors, right? Who are we going to get? We're never going to get somebody of top caliber. And you're never going to get anybody like Jim Rails. You're right. So we got Jim Rails. So, Chief, as the city manager, I thank you tremendously for the work that you've put in. The council has heard this several times. It wore me out in the beginning because we had to do so many of these steps to meet the state's requirements. And when Jim started, it really was a complete load off for me to say, you got it. And every time I'd start getting involved, you need me to, I got it. We're very fortunate, and for his loving wife, thank you so much for what you've put up with for at least in September. I don't know how many times I'd talk to him and he'd say, oh yeah, I got to come in Friday. I just have to come back Saturday for just a little bit. His dedication is unmatched, and we're appreciative for both of you. Thank you, Mayor.
We won't let the city attorney speak because it'll cost us too much money. But I do want the members of the community to know that our city attorney also works for the city of Hemet. And without that relationship, we would probably not be here today, because we have an agreement with them to do dispatch, and it's been unbelievable to see that thing come through. And I just got done speaking with the mayor, Linda Krupa, thanking her for this opportunity that we get to do this tonight. And it's full circle. So I just want to say thank you, Mr. City Attorney, because I know how much you helped bring that home for us, and it's a pretty incredible thing. Please don't bill us.
Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Welty?
Yeah, it's just amazing how pleased I am. It was Jim Rails that came on board, because we already had a relationship with him. And when you hear about hiring in the process, you're always like, life is a box of chocolates. What are you going to get out of the box? And when it came across as Jim Rails, it was just, I was good. I was totally good. And the hardest problem I've had with Jim over the last couple of months is I keep looking for him to wear the uniform. And I keep going, where's the uniform? Where's the uniform? And finally he took me aside and said, I don't really wear the uniform until I get sworn in. So today's the day I think we've all been waiting for. And thank you for walking through us with all this. So appreciate it.
Love that. Councilmember Terry?
Icing on the cake. Could not have found a more perfect fit for our community. And your knowledge of our community, your relationships with this council, as well as our residents. If you're going to start a police department, you're the perfect guy to do it for this community. And I think in the weeks and months and years to come, our community is truly going to appreciate your style, your abilities, your tool set, and you've just made Canyon Lake even more desirable than it was previously. But most of all, my experience with you is you're a good man. Welcome aboard.
Mayor Pro Tem?
So there's a lot to be said for the known versus the unknown. We are so lucky that this is just going to be the most seamless of transitions. The thing I remember about working with you and when I knew you were special was when we participated in the golf cart town hall. and I saw how you were so responsive and receptive to the citizens and their desires. But you also were ethical and fair in your obligations as the chief law enforcement officer of our city. I am so proud as I go around to different police departments in my day job to talk about Canyon Lake Police Department. And the reason that I am proud is because I know that we're in such good hands, and the staff that you are going to lead are going to reflect our values. And I'm very, very grateful and very, very happy. Thank you.
Councilmember Stever.
I've had to change your name 3 times in my phone since we've known each other. It went from Lieutenant Rails to Captain Rails and now Chief Rails. And I'm truly excited to see you take on this role and see where our police department will be in the next 5-10 years, because it wouldn't get there if it's not going to be for your support. And truly appreciate it. And I promise I won't use my first sticker to put on the fire truck. But honored to be here with my colleagues tonight as well, and to see this ceremony for you. So congratulations.
Chief, you ready?
But before you do, if I could, Mayor, because once that happens and he's sworn in, we may lose him to his family for a little bit. There's a gift that I have for everybody in the yellow envelope that you have, and if I could, Chief Latendresse, you've got number 1. Chief Rails, you have number 2. If you could open those up. I had a challenge coin made, and so if everybody would open them and see them.
It says do not open.
It now is voided.
Okay.
You can open it. On one side of that challenge coin, it says Canyon Lake Fire Department established 2022. The other side, Canyon Lake Police Department established 2026.
Wow.
The significance of the numbers, I made sure that Jeff Latendresse, our fire chief, got the number 1. He was our first chief. And so number 2 goes to Chief Rails, and then my bosses after that. And it went in order of seniority and time so that I could defend that if it comes up in my review. So I really wanted to take an opportunity to do that. I did order some extras. We can talk later at if there's anything we'd want to do to be able to get some of those to the community, or an option that they have. Maybe we donate it to something that gives them that option. But I really wanted that to be seen before we lose him to his family.
This is first class, Mr. City Manager, 100%, absolutely first class. Since you reminded me that we're going to lose the chief after we officially swear him in, we also have one more thing that we would like to do. Christy, we got you some flowers. I know for myself, I could not do what I do without my wife, and many of us up here who have our spouses, and I know I can only imagine what you have to go through just being that voice of reason to this man. And there's no way that he can do what he does without you. It's absolutely impossible. And I do believe that you're the reason why he is who he is. And I got some flowers for you. I'm going to give them to you after we swear him in. And we just want to say thank you for sharing your husband with us. It means the world to us because he's that kind of man. Thank you. And we all have our hats, so we can do that too. Chief, you want to introduce who's going to be swearing you in tonight?
This is Deputy Chief Andy Elia.
You ready?
He was the former captain here.
Yeah.
Before I took over. So this is fitting. It's perfect. And we've known each other for years.
The hat or this? Or Joshy.
It's perfect.
I feel like I want a video from over here. Can I do
Yeah.
that?
Jim, go ahead and raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, James Rails,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and to the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will,
and that I will,
well and faithfully,
well and faithfully,
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God. Thank you, everyone. Please have a seat. I won't take too much time because I know we have a long meeting, but first of all, Mayor Pro Tem, all the council members, I appreciate the vote of confidence, the things you said. Now I've got to live up to all that, but you've been awesome the entire time, brought me in. Just the way you have supported me and helped me through this venture has been awesome. You seemed never worried about what I was doing or what I was, putting together. You always asked, but never seemed too worried about it. I appreciate that. Thank you for the vote of confidence. City Manager, I appreciate everything you've done. Seeking me out before I was even retiring, about 3 months before, when we were sitting in Assistant Sheriff Don Sharp's office, and I'm helping you out with some things, and then he brought it to your attention that, hey, you need to find somebody good for the police chief that we can work with. So it's just fitting it. It worked out. So trying to get used to the blues. It's a little different. I'm used to tan and green for 30 years, so supposed to be swimming. So
Very chic.
to the city employees, you've been awesome. You brought me in. I mean, we were family right from the beginning. You've been awesome. Everybody's helped me out along the way. Jeff Latendrous, Fire Chief, thank you so much. You've helped me through the weeds on some stuff, so I really appreciate it. Just the entire staff's been amazing. To my partners out there, Police Chief Gutierrez from Menifee Police Department, thank you for coming out. Council member, thank you very much. Captain Castillo, thank you so much for everything. You've helped me out through some things, and I'm bouncing some employees off you that I thought about bringing over, and we went back and forth on it. So I really appreciate that help. Same thing with Sheriff's Department. Been awesome all the way through this entire thing. Captain Boyd, you've been awesome helping me through this and sending me over staff and sergeants to help sit on the oral board for hiring. So they've been a big part of the hiring process. You've been awesome. I don't know where Dave's at. Lieutenant Clark, hey, back there. Thank you for being a friend and for just helping me. I've called the station many times asking for things. Hey, I need to order this. Can you send me this? And he would send it right over and be very helpful. So everybody has been awesome. To my family, I took up the whole 2 front rows here. My daughters, son-in-law, sister, brother-in-law, niece and nephew. Got the 3 grandbabies over there.
I love it.
The 3 towheads. I love you guys so much. You're the reason I do this, honestly. You've been very supportive. I know after 30 years, I was supposed to retire and spend time with all of you. And after I got pulled in,
My bad.
I knew I wasn't going to totally retire. I was looking around for different jobs, but this has worked out perfect. It's 15 minutes away. I'm still able to stay busy because that's the way I am. I can't just stop doing stuff. Hi, baby. I'm getting waved too. Citizens of Canyon Lake, thank you for all your support. Everybody has been so positive. Got a few keyboard warriors that post things, but I just ignore that. Most of it's just concerns about, is this going to be a good product? You're coming from, years with the premier law enforcement agency in the state. But you got to remember, I come from that agency, and I'm not going to put out a product that's less than what you had.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to work closely with them with resources. Menifee Police Department, we're working closely. Emmett, Murrieta, all the surrounding agencies, we all work together. So we'll have those resources when we need them. We're putting together a great department that you're going to be very proud of. All brand new, top-of-the-line equipment for the officers. We're spending money to do it right. So we want to make sure we do it right for the first time. You're going to see some contracts today during the meeting where we're going 10 years out. We're setting this thing up for 10 years to control costs and so that we're good for those 10 years. That's the plan. We have great staff coming on board. They're all in the background process right now. I brought over as my number 2 as a captain. He was retired lieutenant from the Sheriff's Department. We started together on day 1. So him and I are very close. A lot of SWAT experience and a lot of experience with the Sheriff's Department, almost over 28 years. So, and then I've got a lot more experience coming from all over Southern California, from San Diego Police Department, Gardena Police Department, all the way to Blythe. So everybody is not retired. I know that's been some of the comments. Everybody's going to be broke down 55 like me, but
45.
45. Not that I have daughters in their 30s, but but you've been awesome throughout this whole process. Thank you for all your support. Right now, we've got vehicles coming in. They've already started coming in the next couple of weeks. We're getting those finished to be built out. Most of them are done. Putting radios in. We've got staff coming on board July 5th is the day that we have staff coming on. It's going to take about 3 to 4 weeks to get them trained up. We'll have a big kickoff in July. And then early August is go date. So I will let Deputy Chief Aaliyah know what date that's going to be, and then we'll figure out the switch over. So we're just kind of waiting on some dispatch, making sure dispatch is ready with him at police department, that type of thing. Because when we do it, we want to do it right. We don't want to fail. So it's going to be early August is the plan. So no, thank you for coming out tonight. I really appreciate it, and I love this community, definitely. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken this position. I would have stayed retired. But when city manager came to me and said, "Hey, would you like to be the police chief?" I thought it was the same retirement system as I had, so obviously I couldn't leave. I mean, you can't go work for another agency when you retire from PERS, but it worked out perfect. So now I'm able to come over, signed a 5-year contract. So we're going to get this thing up and running in August, and I think you're going to be very, very pleased with the outcome. Okay, thank you.
And Chief, we're not done yet, Chief. Before we go to a little break, we have a few representation from different offices here that I didn't know about until about 5 minutes ago. So bear with me. Karen Spiegel, I think Rebecca representatives here. Kelly Ciarto, I think we have representative here as well. So would you all like to come and give Chief a presentation? Would you like to say a few words, or would you just like to join us for the photo? I'm giving you an out. Speech, real quick. Mic is hot. It is on.
They're here. Okay. Well, hello. I'm really excited for you guys. It's weird to call you chief instead of captain. Even as a before I was in part of where I'm at now, you were always so welcoming and engaging with the community in everything. And when I came into the position, you were very welcoming and you helped me on anything that we needed. So, I'm really excited. I know how much you care about the people, and your leadership is amazing. So we're sad to see you leave Elsinore. Thank goodness we got Boyd after you. I was scared when we left. And sorry, I love him. He's great. It was a grand transition. But when you were retired, I asked you, "What are you going to do?" And you said, "I don't know. I can't stop moving. I'm looking at different ways, different things." And so, like a month later, you were here, and I was like, "Yes, yes." So, congratulations. I'm super excited, and we're really proud of you.
Oh yeah.
Hello, Cap. Right.
Chief.
Oh my God. I see. That's what I was about to say. It's like, I'm so used to it. And seeing you around the community just as much as I run around the community, acknowledging a lot of the kids and folks out here living. And the fact that you bring such a safe space to many, many, many people. And your career here within the community is something that the senator and somebody like myself who is protected by somebody like you is just an absolute blessing. And thank you so much for committing another long portion of your career here. So congratulations and thank you.
So we're going to break for about 5 minutes, and everyone's gonna get a chance to get some photos, hopefully with the chief. And I just want to end. Chief clearly stated, his family's here, and that's the first 2 rows that you see there. And I don't know about y'all, but that's totally Canyon Lake. We are so family oriented here, and I know most of you probably won't ever see this again in your lifetime, but you had a department that this man left and retired from, swore him in. And usually I want to call it bad blood, but there's that taste in people's mouth that occurs when you leave an agency, and this is the exact opposite. Our sheriff has embraced us, and so has the department, and it's because of now Chief Rails. And I think that's so cool because it's totally family driven, and I know that this would not be possible without you and the dedication and that family environment that you bring to law enforcement, and now that you brought it here home to Canyon Lake. So I'm proud to be part of this. I'm proud of you, Chief, and tonight's your night. And I'm excited because I think you guys are going out to dinner. So we're going to get you out of here after we take some photos. So we're going to take a 5-minute recess, everyone. Thank you so much. Perfect. All right, we're gonna, Madam Clerk, don't hate me, but I'm just gonna completely mess with this agenda. We're gonna take up the consent calendar right now so I can get my good friend Alex out of here with CR&R. Is there any public comments on the consent calendar?
Not on consent calendar items.
Do we have any members of the council that would like to pull a consent calendar item? Seeing none, I do need a motion and a second to adopt as is.
Motion.
Second.
Can I get a roll call, please?
Mayor Pro Tem Castillo.
Aye.
Councilmember Stieber.
Aye.
Councilmember Terry.
Aye.
Councilmember Welty.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Alex, have a great night. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. All right. Let's get back to the normalcy of this meeting. Presentations. Let's start off with, actually, Madam Clerk, you did print out Darcy Burke's update. She was unable to join us, so please bear with me as I read this in. All right. I'm sorry I'm unable to join you this evening. I'm on a client-related film shoot where I am providing subject matter exercise to the San Joaquin Authority. I know my credentials have come up in question recently. I would be happy to discuss my qualifications with anyone that has questions. My phone number, email address, and other contact information is readily available. Sadly, we had 2 employees pass away unexpectedly at the agency. Dr. Sudhira Mohila, which I completely butchered, principal engineer, passed away. His work was instrumental with LEJWA and improving the overall health of Lake Elsinore. He was the director for over 4 decades at the agency. Unbelievable. And in the same weekend, man, this is terrible. We lost another employee, Amanda Sell, who joined the district HR's team just a few months ago. And Amanda came to us from the Eastern Municipal Water District. She leaves behind a daughter and her parents. So we need to be praying for both these family members. She's so blessed to have known both of them and the hard work that they've given and the dedication. She said also, that she was unable to join anyone that was unable to join at the splash pad. They had over 1,600 customers show up. Incredible. The bid for Canyon Lake Water Treatment Plant Upgrade and Expansion Project is on the street. Bids are due at the end of June. They have finished the updates to the Urban Water Management Plan. A copy is available online that she can give to you. It's on the website. And lastly, the Colorado River negotiation with the upper basin states have gone nowhere. Metropolitan, California, Arizona, Nevada are coming up with a plan to meet the Bureau and come up with a plan that'll work. And the last item is please join her and council member Mark Terry for coffee at the Country Club next Wednesday, May 20th at 7:30. If you're listening to this, Darcy, I'm so sorry about the loss at your agency. My prayers are with both their families, and thank you for providing us an update even though you are away. All right, with that, we're going to turn it over to our Canyon Lake Property Owners Association Vice President, Jeff Bill. Good evening, Jeff. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thanks for letting me. Just so you know, I am no longer the POA Vice President.
As of when?
As of this morning.
Congratulations.
We had, thank you. So while I am still a director, Lainey Cooney is the new Vice President. Bill Van Vliet is the President. Terry Jarvis, who joins us here, is the Secretary, and Bill Medved is the Treasurer.
Nice.
And so we had our election by acclamation this morning because we had 2 openings and 2 candidates. However, we still need people to vote. We still have 4 ballot measures, 3 related to all of Canyon Lake, 1 of them for the estates. So we need to get people to vote. Right now, the last number I had was 931 votes. We need approximately 1,200 votes, so we need a couple hundred more. So hopefully people will get out and do their duty and vote. And if you don't vote, don't complain. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's how it works. So moving on from that, not a lot happening as far as the regulatory, construction, all that stuff, but we have a lot of events coming. So I don't know if you guys heard, there's this thing called Fiesta Days coming up.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to take place on May 23rd. And that is celebrating over 45 years of this tradition. And this year the theme is 250 years of America. The event's going to kick off with a parade at 9 a.m. Then it's going to continue at the Lodge, Holiday Harbor, and Sierra Park. and there will be shuttles running from 10 to 4 between the major locations. Following that, another exciting surprise is Country Fest. That's going to be Holiday Harbor, and for those of you that like country music, it's going to be Brian White, Dina Carter, David Cook, and Colin Ray, all national artists. They're going to be here. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a Holiday Harbor. This is our second annual, and we're hoping to do this every year. And then in the same vein, at the end of the month, we have the Canyon Lake Fine Arts Guild has a Leonard Skinner tribute band called Skinner Reloaded. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a Skinner fan. So if you can make it, do it. Tickets are still available. And unless you guys have something else, that is all we have for this month. Any questions, comments, insults?
Insults.
Director Bill, when's the last day to vote for the POA?
We're hoping people get in on Friday. If we don't get enough people to vote on Friday, it will be extended out until the 29th.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for the update, and congratulations on the promotion, I would call it. Just want to make this quick announcement before we move on to our president of the Canyon Lake Chamber of Commerce, Johnny. If you would like to speak in tonight's meeting, you have two opportunities. We have comment cards with our clerk that you can fill out on any items not pertaining on the agenda. And then also, if you would like to speak on a specific item tonight, please fill out your comment cards right now. Even if you think you want to speak, but you maybe don't want to, later on in the evening, you can always let the clerk know that you would like to pass. So with that, Johnny, you're up. You guys have been busy.
All right. Mayor Smith, Mayor Pro Tem Castillo, council members, city staff. I have three topics before I hand it over to Doctor of Events. First one is the website's going to be under construction again. We're changing the calendar of events. We're going to have two calendars. One is going to be the calendar of events. The second is going to be a calendar filled with local business groups throughout the valley. So from Temecula all the way to Paris. There is no one hub that hosts all those, like Trusted Business Partners, BNI, LaTip, where people can go on, because it's not all happening here, it's happening all over, which I think is going to drive traffic back to us and businesses. Another key point is the Chamber Chase. This has really taken on a life of its own. When I get texts at 11, 12 o'clock in the evening that the clue's too hard, that's a problem. So that's why I released the current one that was found right away. But the Chamber Chase was built to drive traffic to local businesses, encourages residents to explore local businesses. One of the comments that was on recently, right before I came to this meeting, was I didn't know there was a tattoo shop on that side of the lake, which is really good. It means that people are engaged and they're out visiting businesses that they would never visit, which is going to promote and drive business to them and also drive traffic. So we're excited about the Chamber Chase. This week's winner was Megan Cortez. She was very, very happy that she found that flyer, and you'll see that on the post, and we're going to be handing the prize off to her, and we'll take another picture and post that as well. And then lastly, the Chamber Advantage. More and more people are engaged in that, and they're starting to post their own coupons, discounts, promotions that they're running, which is really good. Some of them were having trouble posting it, so that's becoming a life of its own, and we're proud of that. We're very proud to be able to drive traffic to each other, but also outside, because we just don't, all of our members aren't just in the Canyon Lake area. So we're very proud of that. And with that said, Mr. Events.
Okay. Hi, good evening. I'm Rick Tobin, the Vice President and Director of Events, and I want to first announce that Nahara Law is our Business of the Month. Steve Nahara and Cy, they've helped the Chamber quite a bit. They were also our Grand Marshal for the Parade of Frights, and I want to talk about some of the upcoming events. Let's see, so next Thursday, we're starting business coaching for the Chamber. We think we're the only chamber in the region offering it. Both Johnny and I grew up following a lot of these gurus, Dale Carnegie, Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar,
nice.
Og Mandino. So we're going to teach people how to sell, how to market. I write a lot of licensing courses, so I teach agents how to do it. So He's going to bring in one of his gurus to help out. So that's next Thursday in the Magnolia Room downstairs on June 21st. And then on...
You need your glasses?
Yeah, sorry, I need my glasses. Okay. Okay, so then we have Friday, May 22nd, a Monarch TAC 2 ribbon cutting event, 5:30 to 7. Then Wednesday, May 27th, here at Red Hawk, again, Wednesday, May 27th, ribbon cutting there, 5:30 to 7. Tony Schwartzman and his team. Tony gave a great presentation at our roundtable breakfast last Thursday. And then we have June 11th, Sports Stop, After Hours Mixer. June 20th, again, our biggest event we're doing with the Canyon Lake Yacht Club. Land Cruise, we're taking charter buses from out here to Shoreline Yacht Club in Long Beach. That'll be all dates. Ticket prices are only $50. That includes a bus ride, mimosas, coffee, gourmet food. I just filled up my gas tank last week, $102. It's normally half a tank to go from here to Long Beach. So for less than driving there yourself, you can go on a fancy bus and get food and so forth. So, and lastly, and the sweetest event of them all, ribbon cutting event at Jenny's Sugar Shack, Friday, June 26th. So we hope to see you there. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any questions?
Awesome job, guys. Any questions? Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. All right. Now we get to move on to our nonprofit spotlight. Councilmember Terry, this one is yours. Take it away.
Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure for me to introduce two people that I know we all know. For as long as I've lived here, yeah, you guys have been a big part of Canyon Lake, and I'm so proud of you once I found out about this organization. And it is my pleasure to introduce to you Options for Autism. And if you could please come up, Mike and Robin Zing.
Thank you. Well, what an exciting night to be here with everybody. I'm sorry that a lot had to leave because I would love to share what we're all about. I feel bad with having my back turned. Is everyone okay with that? Is this okay? Okay.
It's her best side.
Well, anyways, thank you a ton for having us to share. On the screen, it talks about that we started this nonprofit in 2022. The reason we started it is we found out our grandson had autism. That's quite alarming when you find out a family member or loved one or anyone has autism and you don't know what to do, and we didn't. So we researched and found out a lot of information, and we were introduced to the Stem Cell Institute in Panama. So we all did a lot of research for that, and this is our little grandson up in the screen when he was on the airplane to go to Panama. Stem cells are taken from the umbilical cord for donated umbilical cords after the babies are born. So it's an amazing Dr. Riordan. He's an American doctor. He actually has his institute in Texas. But unfortunately, because of laws and things, the dosage that's needed for these children with autism isn't legal yet here. It's so exciting. We just had a meeting that we're going to maybe be a part of helping get it legal, because we get to share the amazing results of what's happened. So just an example, our grandson there, he could not speak, no speaking, not potty trained, fits, outrages, just the normal things that you deal with autism. But day 3 of the stem cell injections, Tyler said to me, "I love you too, Grandma."
Wow.
So
First words ever.
First words ever. So, I mean, it was amazing. I mean, the most incredible thing a grandma can hear. I felt bad for his mama and
Of
dad.
course,
But,
of course. That was coming next.
yeah, it was great.
Wow.
But what's funny is from that point on, he didn't speak for another 4 months. So it does take the stem cells a little bit of time in their bodies to connect with everything. And the way I look at it, the right and left brain aren't connecting as well. And it takes those stem cells and they connect. And once they connect, it's a miracle.
Wow.
If you look in the corner of that picture, you'll see Tyler. He's receiving Honor Roll Student of the Month. And
In normal classes.
yeah, oh yeah, he was in, the classes that you have to go to be different, to learn different things. But he was put into regular classes. He now is in mainstream. He is
Fully functional.
totally functionable. And he just got the
really
Christian Character Award in the school, which is overall. I mean, that's with being great with the kids, great with, the Bible, everything. So very proud grandma. But so that started when we were in Panama. We were there and witnessed all these families that had sold their homes, mortgaged their homes, sold cars. It's
We
about
were in the pool with one group. We had to give them money so they would have money while they were there. They used all their money to get there. So it was kind of cool. They couldn't leave the facility, but it's a 5-star hotel, so it's not a bad facility. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, but it's $18,000 is the typical charge for the stem cells, and that does include the stay at the hotel. And the institute is right in that hotel. But anyway, so when we were there, we said, you know what? When we retire, which we did real estate for 35 years here.
Thanks to all of you.
I know, thank you. But and we loved it. But we said, we'll start a foundation so that we can get as many children to Panama as we can, because there's so many that don't know about it or can't afford it. So we retired, and about a year after we retired, I woke up in the middle of the night, and God reminded me of that promise we had made in that pool that day. And we started the foundation that next day. So we said, oh, it's time. And it's been amazing. If you go to the next screen, the first child, Layla, that we actually sponsored as a foundation, Mike actually met. Do you want to?
I went over to pick up our grandson at school over here in Elsinore, and there was a little girl very disruptive at the gate. And I said to the teacher, is the parents around? And she said, yeah, she's over there. As she was coming up, she was, her mom, Amanda, was probably about 28 or so, maybe a little older. Anyway, I said, does your daughter have autism? And she said, duh. and she was 9 years old. They like to get them earlier if they can. Up to 12, they will go more, but they like them 12 and pre. So I said to her, have you heard of stem cells? She said, well, yeah, but it's way too expensive. And I said, if somebody would pay, would you take her? Normally it takes 2 months to get somebody, their paperwork and everything to get them there. Robin and Amanda worked together, had her on the plane with us 2 weeks later. She got the injections. I'm just going to go a year because spoke her first words there we were there.
She said, get wet. She saw the pool. Those were her first words.
Second injection. And then, but now pretty much writes her own name, interaction with her family, talks, all of it. Now, I know we only have a certain amount of time, but how many kids have we helped now?
12.
12. Right. None of them with any negative repercussions. We did found a group, or they found us in Newport. They wanted us to start using their stem cells and stuff. We checked it out. We took one lady, and I told her, I said, I wouldn't do this with my grandchildren. We've been there. We know what Panama does. She went ahead there because she couldn't, it wasn't about the money. She just could not go to Panama. So she took her son. First injection, pretty good, real good actually. Second injection, kind of went the other direction, and she now says she wished she'd have went to Panama. So the reason I want to share that loud to all of you guys, if you hear anybody doing it, be careful where you're doing it at.
The stem cells, it's a huge difference of how they're made and what stem cells are used, and the quality is really neat to make sure. But Layla didn't even know she had a brother and sister. And when she got back from Panama, she actually would sit on the couch and watch TV with them. And so for the families, it's not just the children we get to help. It's
Sorry,
these-
let me say that.
it's these
Amanda said,
families.
thank you for what you're doing for my daughter. I said, it's not your daughter's life who I'm going to help her. It helped her
So I just,
more.
I'll go one more. See little Michael's story. This family, so cute. They found out their son had autism. And I get a phone call and they said, is this Options for Autism? And I said, yes, it is. And he said, where are you located? And I said, well, we're in Canyon Lake. He said, oh my gosh, on what street? And I said, Big Range. And he said, we are too. He said, I prayed and I looked up in the internet and yours was the first thing that popped up. And he said, I can't believe you're here in Canyon Lake.
Wow.
So within 2 months, we had him in Panama and he's doing fabulous.
And they actually
So-
live 5 doors from us.
Yeah. And they said they didn't know where to turn. They didn't know what to do. And so it's really sharing this with other people because so many people haven't even heard of it or, you know, are scared about it or they've heard weird stories. So that's what our foundation tries to do is just give information, educate, and then if they need financial assistance, we've been able to do some fundraisers. If you go to the next screen, go to the next one, sorry. This one, the fire department was amazing
Way to go, guys.
showing up at Station 2 over here.
Dana put on our
Yes,
pancake breakfast.
Dana right here did a
She was the one
pancake
who put it
breakfast.
on, and they showed up and were very
Very
supportive. We appreciate it.
successful, and it was amazing. It's just so neat to see the community be involved and support, you know, what all of us are trying to do out here. But
I need
Go
one more
ahead.
minute. She doesn't go here, but I sort of do. While we were there, we got the injections, but our parents got the injections, and my mom comes back. We were losing her a little bit. She was having Alzheimer's or something, and so she comes back, and the nurse comes in and said, "Doctor wants to see you." Never a good sign at her age. The doctor comes in and says, "Mark, what did you do?" And she says, "Why do you ask?" He said, "Your brain is better than it was 2 years ago." We saw a 5-year drop back, and she's now 94. She's not. She's starting to lose it again, but we had a good 5 years that we weren't seeing. So if you know somebody that has those kind of problems, reach out to us also.
yeah, overall
Okay.
stem cells are wonderful that we've found out, but we have 4 children currently waiting for stem cells, and so we're frantically doing fundraisers. So can you go back to that screen? There we go. Awesome for any donations. You know, obviously we love that as a foundation, but becoming a volunteer is really important to us because we have a lot of committees and we need volunteers on those committees because without that we can't keep spreading the word. And it's just so important that we let as many people know so we can get as many kids there.
Thank you for letting us be
Thank
here.
you so much.
You guys are awesome. Great testimony.
And, oh, one more thing. I have some cards if anybody has any children or family members or anything that might need our help.
You guys are incredible. Thank you. God bless you guys.
Wow.
That was good.
Every
That was
time.
every time. Every time. Public comments.
Mayor, we have 3 this evening. Our first speaker is
Thank you for joining us this evening.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. Good evening. My name is Ron Parayoff. I'm the Director of Secondary Education in Lake Elsinore Unified School District, and I'm very excited to be here this evening to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing. We're putting together what's called a portrait of a graduate, and that's in essence a pretty clear descriptor of what we want our students to know and be able to do by the time they leave our system. So the purpose behind our portrait initiative is a community-driven effort to define the knowledge and skills and dispositions we want every LEUSD student to possess when they leave our system. Over the past several months, we've engaged students, families, community, business members in meaningful conversations about the future of education and workforce readiness. Through surveys, focus groups, design team collaboration, we're identifying the competencies that matter the most for student success, not only in high school, but college, career, and beyond. This work goes beyond academics. It's about ensuring our students are adaptable thinkers, effective communicators, collaborators, problem solvers, and engaged citizens who are prepared to thrive in an ever-changing world. The Portrait of Graduate will help align our instructional programs, our career technical education pathways, our student opportunities, and support systems around a shared vision for student success. We want this portrait to truly reflect the values and aspirations of the entire LEUSD community, and that's why your voice matters. We strongly encourage all students, families, staff, and community members to take a few minutes to complete the online survey. It's found on our website. Your feedback will directly shape the future direction of our district and help us ensure that every student graduates ready for their next chapter. Thank you for partnering with us and continuing to build a future that's focused on not only educational success, but personal success.
Awesome job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Renee Griffiths.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. At the March 14th meeting, the council approved the minutes for March 11th and March 17th meeting. I've reviewed the meeting minutes against the publicly available recordings, and I submitted a formal written complaint to the city clerk and city manager identifying multiple material inaccuracies and omissions. First, the March 11th minutes state that Mayor Smith provided a presentation on the Crescent Garden Cemetery proposal. However, the recordings show that Mayor Smith introduced Director Darcy Burke, who then spoke for roughly 29 minutes and answered questions from full council and city manager. The approved minutes reduce her lengthy presentation to testimony to a single sentence while attributing the presentation to the mayor. Second, on March 11th, during deliberations on the urgency ordinance, Mayor Smith read aloud a text message from absent Councilmember Welty from his personal cell phone. The approved minutes state only that the mayor noted Councilmember Welty's support. There is no mention that the support was communicated through a private text message that was read during deliberations. That omission is notable because the way the communication occurred is central to understanding the public discussion and any potential Brown Act implications. The video clearly reflects that the statement was not simply a general acknowledgement of support, but the reading of a direct text message from an absent council member during deliberations. Third, at the March 17th meeting during public comments, I stated on the record that Mayor Smith had read the text message from Councilmember Welty during March 11th meeting. I specifically asked the city attorney whether doing so constituted a Brown Act violation. I also referenced the staff report for the evening that requested for the record be accurately reflect that the text message had been read aloud rather than describing it merely as written correspondence. Despite that discussion occurring publicly and on camera, the approved minutes contain no reference to the text message, no mention of my request to correct and for the record, and no accurate summary of the city attorney's response. Fourth, on March 18th, I submitted a public records request seeking the text message Mayor Smith read aloud during the March 11th meeting, along with other communications from the council members. When I finally received the messages on April 21st, they did not include the text message that Mayor Smith read aloud during the public meetings. I am requesting tonight that the council amend both sets of minutes to the official record so the official record accurately reflects what occurred and that the city publish the text message I requested on March 18th. Accurate minutes and compliance with the Public Records Act are not discretionary, they're legal obligations. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk.
Tim O'Mara.
Good evening, Tim. I must say, you look quite dapper, my friend. We don't get to see a suit on you very often.
No, you don't. It's usually construction
Not
clothes.
too shabby there, bud.
Well, thank you very much. I have some documents for you. Could I share those with you?
Absolutely. You can pass it to the clerk.
Mayor, Mayor Pro Temp, City Council, City Staff.
Thank you.
I'll wait till I get back to the microphone.
Yep. I'll pass it down. I got it.
So, as many of you know me, my name is Tim O'Mara. I've lived in Canyon Lake for about 5 years now. I enjoy the city. I raised a son here, and it's a beautiful place. I'm also the Canyon Lake Fire Captain. I've been with the organization for 4 years. I love my job. It is a fantastic place to work, and I'm the vice president of the Canyon Lake Firefighters Association. Today, I'm coming to you, though, as a citizen, and I'm proposing a citizen initiative to help support public safety. In doing so, I propose a 1% sales tax to be used for dedicated funding for public safety. As we've seen tonight, public safety is very important to the city of Canyon Lake, as we've seen swearing in of Chief Rails, and how important it is for individuals to be sworn on that badge. It means a lot to all of us that have to do that. All of the firefighters, all of the police officers that are going to be here do risk their lives, and they put themselves in the way of danger. We need to acknowledge that, respect it, and hopefully embrace it and make this place better. Looking at a sales tax increase, we're looking at potentially $1 million coming in from the community from only sales tax. That being said, with 11,000 residents, that's approximately $90 a year per resident. At this time, we will need 1,000 signatures to get this measure on the ballot this upcoming November. I am here to share with you that the Canyon Lake Firefighters Association will be walking around, knocking on doors, and asking individuals to sign this measure for us so we can get it on the ballot and get more information out to the public. We should have a website up soon that people can come see, as well as if they follow the Canyon Lake Fire Association Instagram or Facebook, you'll see the flyer that I just handed out to the City Council. That's a quick read on the flyer of what's going on. The entire measure will be on the website for everyone. In addition to this measure, the 1% sales tax, there's also the fire protection tax, the existing UUT, and the EMS subscription fee. We would like to take all of those entities and put them into a dedicated fund for public safety, only to be used for public safety, which includes fire, law, and EMS. Do you have any questions for me, City Council?
Wish we could talk. Nice job.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I do have some extra of these flyers. I will leave them over here for individuals if they want to pick up and read from themselves, and they can contact me directly if they want to find more information. And we will be going out with blue binders looking for signatures of registered voters within Canyon Lake.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Madam Clerk, does that conclude the public comment portion on non-agenda items?
It does, Mayor.
All right, I'm going to throw another twister at you. I do apologize. We did not pull any consent calendar items, so we can move right along. I'm going to bump us to business item number 11. This is the consideration of adoption of the fiscal year 2026-2027 budget and related action. Mr. City Manager, I believe this is yours to take away.
It is indeed, Mayor Pro Tem, Council, thank you. Last council meeting, we presented the preliminary budget to you. As we went through the budget, council had no changes. So what you see here is a reflection of that budget with one recommendation that we're making from staff. As we stated on here, we've got inundated with numerous Public Records Act requests. What we're asking to do is basically take that $19,000 as what our revenues over expenditures was. In the private world is often called the surplus. For us, it's the additional revenues over the expenditures. We're asking to utilize that to take it down to zero because we do have a very high demand of these Public Records Act requests that we have there's no choice but to satisfy them. So when they come in, we have an obligation to do it. There's numerous aspects to that as we went into detail in the staff report. One of those is they've reached many of them what we would call non-routine. Non-routine means that it's of such a complexity that it involves numerous individuals, including the city attorney. The city attorney, while quite charitable, he and his firm do not work for free. And so as we've reached that point, we've kind of surpassed what would be considered the retainer because they are non-routine. And on our side, we have numerous employees that are not salaried. I do understand for salary personnel, we're going to get paid whether we're staring at the wall all day, working all day. So that is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the individuals that serve the residents of Canyon Lake who are responding to these. Oftentimes it is finance personnel who are pulling invoices or maybe going into the specific details of each item. We've got a lot of things going on that council has given us in terms of goals, expectations that I have for the individual areas of function. And so we've pushed some of that work off, sometimes coming, asking for overtime on Fridays, things like that. So all we're looking to do is compensate for that. And in the event that it continues at the pace that we're seeing right now, we would be coming at mid-year asking for an additional adjustment, but we feel like this is enough to get us through this process. The city attorney can certainly chime in on the applicable portion to the city attorney's office, but that's where we are with the budget and the budget request.
Mr. City Attorney?
Yes. So, under the California Constitution and state law, the city has an obligation to respond to Public Record Act requests within a reasonable time frame. The city has had a long history of receiving Public Record Act requests. Most of those are routine in nature. I was asked today, what's your definition of a routine request versus a non-routine request? There's no strict legal definition, but I would categorize a routine request as one that is narrow in scope, reasonably identifies the records that it's looking for, and can be responded to in a short amount of time by a single staff member who goes and pulls the files. This city, over the last year, has received a significant uptick in complex Public Records Act requests that are oftentimes, although it is maybe one request, it actually is asking for multiple categories of records, even dozens of categories of records, some of which require legal review on whether the records being requested are exempt from disclosure. Sometimes it requires legal review of the requests, of the responsive documents themselves for privileged or confidential material. And so, because we have that legal obligation to respond to those, and because they oftentimes are requiring legal analysis, the city's legal utilization has gone up significantly. We are budgeted for approximately 37 hours per month of legal services. That was the deal that this council struck many, many years ago in order to get a control on its legal costs. The utilization just in the last the first 3 months of this year on a month-by-month basis have almost doubled that. Right. I've honored the retainer. We've been eating those costs here at the firm, but it's not sustainable long term. You get to a point where the effective hourly rate that we're able to charge is lower than the salary of the attorneys who are reviewing the records, which means I'm losing money working for the city. I love working for the city. So, I think that it's simply, it's a budget issue. If, this city is going to continue to receive these complex and numerous requests, it has a legal obligation to allocate funds necessary to respond to them. I'll say this, since this budget item was posted, just this week alone, we've received 6 new complex Public Records Act requests.
Wow.
So it didn't stop, it's speeding up.
Yeah.
And so I think that's all I have to add to that. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have, though.
I have one, Mayor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being the PRA's constitutional act, any other suggestions you might be able to provide to the public on other means that the city allows to gain information or certain requests?
I don't know if the city manager wants to take this. I can only speak from experience in the past. The city did have another individual who also got into a season of asking for a lot of complicated and complex requests. And eventually, the Finance and Planning Committee met, discussed what this was costing the city, not just in terms of money, but in terms of time for staff. That individual was a former council member and actually was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize this was going on. That individual actually started contacting the city clerk before sending the request in. The city has an obligation under state law to assist someone with making an effective request.
Right.
And so, maybe the city clerk or city manager could talk about it, but my understanding was that individual started contacting the city clerk beforehand and saying, look, this is what I'm looking for. What should I ask for? And that really assisted moving from these broad fishing expedition style requests to, like I said, those focused requests where it can get handled in a few minutes. That's been my experience.
Perfect. So could we make a recommendation that if one does not want to go down the PRA route, reach out to city manager and he can navigate through those requests from there?
You can certainly make that request, and I think building a bridge here would be better than burning it down. That being said, the city doesn't have any control over whether someone makes requests and how they make their requests.
Right.
So this is entirely within the control of a third party. Our obligation is to respond as required by law.
But you bring up a good point, Councilmember Stieber, and the system is unfair too. I mean, the PRA, Public Records Act in itself, is very difficult because someone will request something and then we have to provide it, and then that usually, what I've seen, especially in municipality, is it triggers 18 more questions because that person doesn't know what the information is that they're receiving. And that's where it gets very difficult. And I think the story that the city attorney shared with that particular individual, our clerk was able to sit down with them and go through that process, and they're like, oh, well, no wonder I'm not getting the information I wanted quicker, because you don't know what I'm asking, right? And that's where I think the system is flawed, and it's very difficult because we are under as a municipality, there can't be this type of communication that we're even having here on it. So, I think definitely building a bridge as opposed to burning it down, as the city attorney so elegantly stated, is I think so important, especially in this matter, because, we get audited pretty darn regularly, and, it's pretty easy to find out anything related to the city financially, or especially now that I believe we're live now on the portal, if I'm not mistaken, through Next Request, where you can go and use that system, and it actually helps track the information that you're looking for and helps pinpoint some of these things. So I want to commend the city, for making it more accessible for that regards too. But also, I think this entire council believes in the importance of transparency. I don't think any one of us are trying to in fact, the exact opposite. We're trying to find more money to make sure that we're facilitating the requests that we are receiving. And we're also double downing in the sense that we're making it easier to obtain information, which I think is great. I had a gentleman tonight tell me that it's crazy to see where the city's at compared to where it used to be, and we're streamlining things, which I just want to commend staff on that. And I feel bad that, we're having to go through this, but it's an educational, I think, on both sides, not just on us as policymakers, but also on those requesting information too, because I do believe the system is kind of skewed. We can't charge for it. A lot of people are asking, well, why doesn't the city just charge for it? The only thing that we can actually charge for is if we went to a print system and we actually printed off each single request, which would be thousands and thousands of pages, which would be, creating, bundles of paperwork and having to lay all that out. We can charge for flash drives and we can implement all that. But I think the responsible thing that was done by this staff so far has been to put it all out there, put it all online so you can access anything that we have for our records. It's at a place of pure transparency when the clerk's like, please just come to my state computer and look at everything, right? I mean, that's what we're trying to do here. So I just want to say thank you for doing that, turning on that portal in the last 24 hours and making that happen. And hopefully that'll alleviate some of the, issues that we're having. So, but I think that's a good point, Councilor.
Yeah, and thank you, city attorney and city manager, for the recommendation for the public. Appreciate it.
Any other comments from my colleagues? Do we have any public comments, by the way?
We have one public comment, Renee Griffiths.
Do you want to hear that before your comments?
Yes.
Let's hear the public comment now. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
There we go. Good evening again. Let me say up front, as all of you already know, and I posted on Facebook, so hopefully everyone else knows, the 27 public records requests printed in the agenda are all mine. I file a request for one reason. When the city makes public statements that an event will drive business to the town center merchants, that too many beauty salons threatens the city's ability to fund essential services, residents have the right to verify those statements against the records. When I file a request, I'm simply asking, does the city story match what's in the documents? What I am here to question is the 87 hours of city attorney time billed against my 27 requests. I went back through those requests. Roughly 85% asked for financial records, P&Ls, invoices, contracts, audits, loan documents. For example, the cost of the pumpkin bash, and how did the city measure its stated goal of driving business to the town center? These are not exotic requests. These are line items. Again, invoices, contracts, audit reports, the kind of records that should be able to produce without 87 hours of attorney review. I want to be fair. The other 15% of my requests do involve the city attorney's input and it's legitimately required. My request for the text messages, especially one I never received, between council members on personal devices generally involve legal analysis, but that 15% cannot account for 87 hours. I also want the record to be clear on the volume. The city has received roughly 242 public record requests across 24, 25, and through April 30th, 2026. Over 28 months, that's 9 requests per month. Only 27 are on the agenda, all mine. The other 215 are not. My requests specifically average 1 per month over nearly 2.5 years. That is a manageable pace. It does not, on its face, justify expanded legal services. So my question to the council, has the city manager provided you with an itemized city attorney billing, request by request, task by task, showing how 87 hours were spent on these requests, on just my request? Not a summary, not a total, an itemized bill. Because if financial records requests are being routed through legal review when they should go through finance, that is a spending decision this council or the city manager has made. Either way, it deserves an answer before the budget is adopted. My goal in every request I've filed is full transparency. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Mark Terry.
We should really be celebrating the hard work of our staff and the great work that they have done preparing this budget. This was not an easy task. Last week, I had the opportunity to go, met with Cheryl, and after that, I went and met with some of our employees. And they are an award-winning group. Last year's budget, correct? Could you remind me of that award, excuse me?
It is the GFOA Distinguished Budget Award, and it was our first time winning the award.
How difficult is it to be awarded that?
It's a very complex process that you must follow strictly. Obviously not all cities win it. Those that put the effort into the transparency and meeting the GFOA requirements, for the most part, do. It is certainly not easy. I am beyond proud of the city staff for the efforts that they put in. And especially for Brianna Helmsley, who really did the yeoman's work to get all of that into the format that it needed to be, to shepherd all of the individuals that she needed to get it where it needed to be. It is absolutely a big deal and something that I'm extremely proud of.
Correct me if I'm wrong, when you first entered, had our staff pursue this, it was your expectation to familiarize them with this, correct?
That's correct.
Not necessarily expecting that they would be awarded.
I believe strongly in setting the target, defining success, and so I told them it is a huge uphill battle to go from not having this to having it. You're going to learn a lot through this process. I'm excited for what you're going to learn, but I'm not going to set an expectation that you're going to win it in the first year, because it is very, very difficult. And as you've heard me say, they love to hit dingers.
Yes.
And in the first year, they won the award, which I rewarded them by helping them understand they've now set higher expectations for themselves. And so now I expect it every year.
We, Canyon Lake, have an incredible staff. My words are never going to suffice their abilities and their importance to you as a resident. We watched our chief be sworn in today. None of that happens without our staff. Now imagine preparing a budget. For those who know, budget season is chaos, controlled chaos, put together by some of the brightest individuals I've ever had the honor of meeting. As I'm going through, I visited 3 offices, and in each one of the offices, did you provide the grease boards in each office?
That I'll give to our city clerk, Cheryl Garcia, over there.
Well, I'll tell you what, I ask questions, because these are 3 feet by 5 feet. There must have been no less than 75 handwritten to-do list in each one of those offices. And I started to ask, like, what is this? And that's what we got to get done this week. A credit to our staff that during budget season, with all of this work that needs to get completed for our residents, and still we're answering all these requests. You can talk about money, I get that, but really what we're doing and what I fear and what is that we're taking them away from doing what they do best. If there is an opportunity to come in and speak with you personally or to speak with our clerk personally, I think we need to make every effort to see if we can transfer this to one-on-one communications. Because it's my understanding this is one individual, correct?
Those represent one individual, that is correct.
And there goes our budget. You know, I said at the beginning of this just how difficult, I think you would agree, a very difficult budget season, correct?
Absolutely. It was, for me personally, it was one of the hardest, just because all the costs have gone up, but our revenues have not gone up much. And so, I mean, it was no secret. The budget we started out with was $600,000 in the negative, and we had to go through and figure out how to solve that.
That's incredible. Unfortunately, we got to do what we have to do. But I would encourage our residents to be conscious of the fact that our staff is tremendous. I could not be more proud of them and how hard they work. And if there's anything that we can do in a show of respect for that staff, I'm all for moving in that direction. I appreciate your willingness to take this, what you did with John Zeitz. I know that's, not necessarily easy, but I really do appreciate the fact that you were willing, and I take it, have you made this offer?
As a matter of fact, Councilmember, specifically with this individual, I met with this individual back in July of last year with one of the council members, specifically for this, to say, hey, a lot of times there's a request that you may be, you may not have the in-depth knowledge of what you're going to get, so you make a very wide, very onerous request. And so what I was looking to do was to kind of build that bridge. And I had offered, email me, call me, whatever you need. I'll talk you through so we can get to where you're going, because from the city's perspective, we have absolutely nothing to hide. And I want you to get to where you're going, but if you and I can work together to make it so that it is not this massive city attorney involved, multiple staff involved process, and I can kind of work with you to deduce that you're really looking for this one thing. Great, here it is. We don't need to go through it. I don't need anybody's permission to release a public document. Here you go. You don't even have to go through that process. Here's the document. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So that offer absolutely remains. It's still, whether it is this individual requester or anybody else, be happy to meet with anybody. If there's something you're looking for, if there's an investigation you have going, whatever it is, we're in. I've spent numerous days talking to individuals that had in-depth questions. I had somebody almost 2 years ago. I was at an event. I just sat over to the side and we spoke for 2 hours because he really wanted to know some items in our budget. Well, I had just done the first budget since I got here. I knew it in depth, backwards and forward. He shook my hand. He was somebody who was very angry with the city. He shook my hand and said, I learned more from this than I have from anything else. I want to do that every single time. That's what we're here for. Nobody, whether it's me or any member of the city staff or the city attorney, wants to not give you what you're looking for. We're paid to give you what you're looking for. We just want to be able to sometimes help educate you on maybe a path to get where you're going without having to put all of that effort on a bunch of individuals that choose to be here, but really are many of them holding probably 2 to 3 jobs in their one job. That's what happens when you're in a small city.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Thank you. You know, when we, or at least when I joined council in 2018, we had a giant structural deficit. And one of our first items, or action items, was assessing the city attorney contract. And I was personally invested, right? Because I could read those invoices, no problem, and I just saw the spending. We were able to dial that down because we were understanding that our priorities were not paying for attorney's fees, no offense, Stephen, but it was for paying for the things that the community really wants. And we just had a citizen come and talk about a citizen's initiative because those are things that are important to the committee or the community. And I've seen the events that we were on the events committee for gutted in the last budget because we need to pay for things that are like public safety. We don't renege on contracts. If we get attorney services, we are going to pay for them.
No parabills.
So it's not optional. I think to talk about a budget and maybe in a budget adjustment, not only are we going to pay for the bill, but then now we're going to maybe go talk to our contract finance person, which will create more work on that end,
right,
with it, which is another vendor bill. I send public records act requests in my job on the regular. I would ask anyone who is going to be doing that instead of using ChatGPT for 3 seconds and then creating hours of work, make sure you are tailoring it to the city of Canyon Lake,
right,
not just a blanket thing that may fly in Menifee or Lake Elsinore or some other county, but specific to Canyon Lake and specific to information here, because that would save staff an inordinate amount of time and energy. So that's just a personal request. Tailor it. Don't use ChatGPT.
Any other comments from my colleagues?
I'll make a couple of comments. Just a comment about our city. We're not a huge city. You come to City Hall, it's not a 10-story building. The city manager is not on the 10th floor, and you don't have to work your way through 10 floors to get to the city manager. Chances are, if you're coming in the door, you're probably 2 levels away from the city manager. And the staff will try to help you at each level, but if they feel it's necessary, generally they won't have any problem handing you on up to the next level, because their time's valuable, and if the city manager can address your issues quickly, that's much better than you getting what we'd call from a large city a feeling of being ran around. And so that's a great thing for us. We have a small city, and our staff wears numbers of hats, and we're very proud of them. And there's a question about, the way we spend our money. Well, most of you didn't go through the budget line by line and look at the nickels and see what we did with our money, what we're doing with our money, but I just want to go over kind of what we've done with our money. Over the last couple of years, we have opened a police department. We have opened a fire station. We have purchased a fire station. We put on a staff in both of the police department and the fire station. We've been working with the Chamber of Commerce on events. We've been working on economic development in the town center. We have built the cooling center next door so that if the air conditioning goes out, people can come here. We've done this road project out on the street. We've collected money for the road project. We got grants. We got basically grants for this area here we remodeled. And we also consolidate the city down to one level. That's the history of our city spending money. And if anyone wants to go down the list and kind of said, we wasted money on anything we did, I dare you to find another city that could have done that well with the small amount of money that we had. And I just think that that's where we're going to go in the future. So I always say, how do you judge somebody? You judge them by their past behavior. And I got to give it to Aaron and the staff. Great job. That's.
I'll, no more public comments, Madam Clerk, on this item. This is it. Tonight it's clear as day that it's a historical night. I'm so proud of the hard work that has been done, not just because we watched our chief get sworn in, but tonight we're also going to pass our budget. And this is it. I use this analogy a few times now that this is a leaky pipe or whatever you want to look at. This is a problem that we're dealing with, and you guys are being reactive, and you're giving us the information so we know what we have to deal with it firsthand, and we're trying to find solutions, and this is being transparent. This is us having the conversation, wanting to be as open as we possibly can, and I just want to thank my colleagues for being willing to allow the staff to move forward. I hope we haven't passed it yet, but I think this is a great way to keep on doing what we're doing. And I just want to encourage staff to keep doing the hard work that you're doing, provide the information to our residents as they ask it, because it is important. I know for me, transparency is the number one thing that we have at City Hall to keep the trust of the people. And Dale, I got to hand it to you. I had no clue you were going to do that. When you went through that list, I cannot believe, I forget how much we have done in the last 5 to 6 years with the smallest budget in the entire region. In the entire Southwest Riverside County region, the stuff that you had just mentioned, you guys know we serve on regional boards. I have council members come up to me all the time begging us, how did you do it? How did we start a fire department? Because right now we just got nailed with an 18% from CAL FIRE. How did you do it? Because the Sheriff's Department just announced that they're doing an 8.8% increase to all contract cities throughout the county. So Dale, thank you for the reminder of the hard work that has been done, not by you or I, but the staff. And that's what's important tonight. And I want to thank all the department heads for putting this budget together. And Madam Clerk, I'm gonna be the one that makes the motion tonight. I'm gonna seek a second for us to pass this budget and to get it through.
I second.
Can we get a roll call vote, please?
Can I clarify for the record, Mr. Mayor, does this include the
It does.
requested $19,000?
$19,000, absolutely.
Okay. We have a
Thank you for the clarification.
Mayor Pro Tem Castillo? Aye. Councilmember Stieber?
Aye.
Councilmember Terry?
Aye.
Councilmember Welty?
Aye.
Mayor Smith?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, everyone. Hey, congratulations, staff. I know how hard you worked on this. Another balanced budget. Good job, guys. That's huge. All right, we're going to go back in order, Madam Clerk. We're going to go right into our public hearing. This is item number 9, consideration of a resolution adopting a fee schedule for law enforcement services. Public hearing is now open. It is exactly 8:19. Presentation is going to be by our city manager, Aaron Brown.
Thank you very much for entertaining the city manager instead of the quite knowledgeable police chief. The police chief, as you know, was just sworn in, and ever the servant that he is, he planned to stay here with us while his family went and celebrated him at dinner without him. And so I told
have
him,
that.
as much as I said, I'm so happy to have passed the baton on to him, I grabbed it one more time to be able to cover this. As a city, just like any other government organization, for us to be able to charge fees for reimbursement of our expenses, they must be adopted by the city, and specifically by the city council. In this scenario, we're not doing an immediate study. The county has already done this study for us. We're adopting the same rates the county has, as right now the sheriff contract still exists. We will keep that in place until a later date when we can do our citywide study and include those in there. So everything that you see is the rates that have already been adopted by the sheriff and thus by the county, and we're just asking that the city council will adopt those same rates and fees as we seek reimbursement for these items. I'm certainly available for any questions you may have.
Council? Everyone good? Any public testimonies on this one?
Mayor, we have none.
This is going to make it easy moving forward. The public hearing is now closed, 8:21. Any additional questions from my colleagues before I seek a motion in a second on this item? This is Resolution 2026-21. If there are none, can I please get a motion?
Motion.
Looking for a second?
Second.
Thank you. You have your motion and second, Madam Clerk. Roll call.
Mayor Pro Tem Castillo.
Aye.
Councilmember Stieber.
Aye.
Councilmember Terry.
Aye.
Councilmember Welty.
Aye.
Mayor Smith.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Awesome. Moving on, this is public hearing item number 10, adoption of a resolution establishing a technology user fee of 8% applied to applicable fee-based services based on the technology user fee study prepared by Wildan Financial Services. Let's see here. We are going to, public hearing is now open, 8:22. The presentation is also going to be, developer, by a community developer. Is that correct?
It is going to be by the community development manager, Ruby Manzano, but I'm worried you're not going to get enough of my voice today, so I'll start it out by kind of setting the tone on this. This adoption of the resolution for establishing a technology user fee. We do have our contractor here that did the study, but I wanted to be able to help everybody understand why cities do this, specifically what the user fee is and what it does. When you're dealing with planning, permitting, that individual process, there's a lot of technology that goes into that and into most of the city processes. When you look solely at those individuals using that process, you've got a subset of your general fund or a subset of the individuals within the city that are then spreading that cost over the entire city. And so the reason you seek almost like a reimbursement on a user fee like this is so that you can try to compensate the city back for the technology that's used for the convenience of those individual customers using that process. Unfortunately for us, as we're a small city, as we talked about, for us to get a full reimbursement for all of those expenses, we would need to be at 28%. Nobody's at 28%. You look at the city of Riverside, who has millions and millions of dollars in development every year. It's economies of scale. For them, at 8% on the $10 million they may do in development in a quarter is really not that big of a deal to them, but it covers all of their costs. For us, the small amount we do, we would have to be at 28%. And so what we're looking for is 8% to help offset some of those costs, but also not to be in a point where it is overly burdensome and also where it's not comparable to any other cities. So I'll be able to hand it over to our community development manager, and she has our contractor on site if there are any questions. Thank you very much for entertaining that, Mayor.
Do we have any questions from the council on this item? Do you have anything to say that he didn't already cover?
No, but no, I will. So I just kind of wanted to get a little bit more in depth on what these technology fee study technology user fee study is about. And so, as the council is aware, the city does rely on a wide range of technology systems, and these systems help support our day-to-day operations, and it also provides our services to the public. And just to get down into some of the technology systems that this fee is attached to, this includes our permitting software, financial systems, records management, website services, public safety platforms, hardware replacement, and our citywide IT support services. And so to evaluate these costs and identify appropriate cost recovery options, the city retained Wilden Financial Services, as the city manager mentioned. And so the study identified approximately $183,874 in annual technology costs attributable to fee-based city services. Based on the city's average annual fee revenues, full cost recovery would require approximately a 28% surcharge on applicable fees. Rather than pursuing the full cost recovery, staff is recommending a more moderate 8% technology user fee to help offset those costs. And so for the police department, there was a separate evaluation that had to be done. It was not included in the citywide. So for the police department, because police operations are primarily funded through the general fund rather than fee-based services, as a result of those costs, were excluded from the citywide technology user fee calculation. Instead, staff proposed applying an 8% technology overhead fee to applicable police fee services as an efficient method to recover police-related technology costs. And so staff recommends that the City Council approve and adopt resolution number 2026-22 establishing a technology user fee for applicable fee-based services. And as the city manager mentioned, we do have a representative here from Wilden Financial Services if council does have any additional questions related to this item.
Council, any questions?
Mr. Mayor, I just have one question. If the fee is passed tonight, when does the fee start?
This would be for the new budget year, so it would be for July 1st.
Thank you, sir.
Do we have any public testimony on this?
Mayor, we do not.
Awesome. We're going to close the public hearing at 8:27. Any last questions from the council before I seek a motion? No? I do need a motion on this item.
I'll second.
All right. And Madam Clerk, this is for Resolution 2026-22, establishing a technology user fee of 8%. For the record.
Mayor Pro Tem Castillo? Aye. Councilmember Stieber?
Aye.
Councilmember Terry?
Aye.
Councilmember Welty?
Aye.
Mayor Smith?
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, moving on. Our last item of the evening, completely out of order, and I apologize, Madam Clerk. We are on number 12. This is the consideration of remote participation in technology distribution policy pursuit to Senate Bill 707. You're a popular man. Mr. Brown, you're up.
I see a lot of finger pointing over here. It just got sent to the city attorney. That usually means the clerk's afraid of what I'm about to say, Mayor. So
fair enough.
I believe the city attorney may be able to do this update.
Absolutely. So we didn't do a full presentation on SB 707 here in Canyon Lake. So just to give a little bit of background on it, SB 707 is the legislature's attempt at modernizing the Brown Act. When I started my career in municipal government, it never even occurred to me that a city council meeting would be streamed online.
Right.
People would zoom in, those sorts of things. COVID changed that for a lot of communities. And a lot of communities saw benefit. Speaker earlier mentioned reviewing the videos of city council meetings. That's a new thing in local government. This city's been doing it for several years now. But the legislature saw the benefits of this increased municipal participation. And so they have required cities develop the ability to have two-way audiovisual participation in meetings, and they've also required that the city adopt a technology disruption policy, which addresses how the city will conduct its meetings if for some reason that two-way audiovisual connection doesn't function correctly. or is disrupted. So the policy in front of you, and I'll say it very simply, I want to appreciate the work of your city clerk. I had a template policy, and your clerk said, okay, but what about this? And so her idea got incorporated into my new template policy. And so I really appreciate that. But the short version is that if for some reason our two-way audio-visual streaming technology goes down, the city has to take good faith efforts to attempt to restore it, and the meeting cannot continue until either the service is restored or 1 hour has gone by, it's not working, and the council has to make an affirmative decision to continue the meeting.
Aren't you an attorney? You didn't come up with that on your own?
What's that? No. I'll tell you, if you want me to tell you, the thing that the city clerk pointed out was we had the definition of disruption was that essentially the streaming, the two-way audiovisual communication wasn't working for technological reasons.
Got it.
And she pointed out, well, sometimes someone just doesn't know how to use their phone.
Yeah, that's a good
Stephen.
point.
That's not really the city's responsibility, is it? And I said, you're right, it's not. And so we added some clarifying language within the policy that it's only technology disruption if it's something within the control of the city or our vendors. User error is outside the scope of the policy, as the city manager might say. So we're required to have this on the books before July 1st, 2026. There are a whole bunch of other requirements that came through SB 707. Fortunately, several of which are not applicable to this jurisdiction based on our size and demographic data.
Yep.
But if for some reason we do reach the point where those are triggered, we'll certainly let the council know and we'll implement those as well.
Yeah, 707's been beaded in our brains regionally because it's the new thing now. So,
yeah.
Any public comments on this item?
Mayor, we have none.
Councilmember Stieber.
Just want to ask and verify one question. So the Senate Bill 707, this is for all agencies in California, or is it just municipalities?
So it is generally applicable to public entities that are governed by the Brown Act.
Right.
There are specific sections in SB 707 that are applicable to cities. So one of these is the two-way audio-visual communication requirement. So that is applicable to cities. It is applicable to cities with populations that exceed certain thresholds, or even smaller cities like ours, if you're a smaller city in a county that has a certain population, right? So we are in one of the most populous counties in the state of California. And so even though we're a small city, we're still obligated to participate in these two-way audiovisual requirements.
Thank you for the answer.
Yeah.
A quick comment?
Absolutely.
I'm a resident of the city. I'm sitting at home, and I want to attend this meeting, and I want to be able to comment. What's the software we're using? What's the plan for that?
Our plan will be to use Zoom. We'll have everything on the agenda. Everything will be both on our website and on the agenda, but Zoom will be the tool of use.
Thank you. I think most members know how to use Zoom, or at least have heard of Zoom. And the Zoom link will be on the agenda, will be on our website. So if they just click on the link, it should take them to the Zoom meeting.
Correct.
Through our website, through the city site. Okay.
Mayor, to add to that, just to clarify, even though we're dark in July, so our August meeting, no more YouTube Live, it will be Zoom by then?
No, it'll be both. It'll be YouTube Live and
okay.
Zoom. The Zoom is only for the individuals that want to be able to participate two-way.
Perfect, thank you.
Good questions. Okay, with that, since there's no more questions, I need a motion on this item. I'll make it since I've heard so much about it.
I'll second it.
Can we get a roll call?
Mayor Pro Tem Castillo. Aye. Councilmember Stieber.
Aye.
Councilmember Terry.
Aye.
Councilmember Welty.
Aye.
Mayor Smith.
Aye.
Motion passes.
City Manager, do you have any comments?
I do. I want to thank the council for approving this budget. As the council alluded to, it's an uphill battle every time. It's a lot of work. I specifically want to thank every single one of the staff members of the city, because to have a budget this tight is entirely because of them. It is entirely because they're willing to take on more than one duty. We don't have the luxury of a job in a city like this, and if I can keep it under 3, that's pretty exciting. So I really wanted to say thank you to the council because your affirmative vote on this budget means a lot to us because it gives us the opportunity to continue to serve the city in a both efficient and effective way. Thank you.
Well done. All right, there's a couple things on the agenda, Council. Unfortunately, we were unable to do our Student of the Year, so we're going to try to do that next council meeting. We also skipped over City Council comments and reports. If the council's okay with it, we'll just extend that out to next month too, and we'll call it a night if everyone's good with that. Good? All right, I'm going to adjourn this meeting. We are going to reconvene June 10th, 2026, and it is 8:35. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you.